Diffa is a region located in southeastern Niger, sharing borders with Nigeria to the south and Chad to the east. It is an area known for its arid climate and proximity to the Lake Chad Basin, a key geographical feature that influences both its economy and demographics. Diffa is one of the 8 regions of Niger, with Diffa City serving as the regional capital. Key aspects of Diffa. 1. Geography and climate. Diffa sits in the Sahel, a semi-arid region between the Sahara Desert to the north and the more fertile areas to the south. It experiences harsh climatic conditions with limited rainfall and hot temperatures, which contribute to frequent droughts and limited agricultural output. 2. Economy. The economy of Diffa is heavily dependent on agriculture, livestock farming, and fishing, particularly around the Lake Chad area. Due to recurring droughts, the economy has suffered, and food insecurity is a significant issue in the region. There is some potential for oil exploration in the region, particularly in the northern parts of the region, which has attracted both national and international attention. 3. Conflict and insecurity. Diffa has been deeply affected by the ongoing insurgency by Boko Haram, a militant group based in northeastern Nigeria. The group's attacks have led to widespread displacement, causing a humanitarian crisis. The insecurity has significantly impacted both local populations and refugees from neighboring Nigeria who have sought shelter in Diffa. 4. Humanitarian situation. The conflict and harsh environmental conditions have resulted in a dire humanitarian situation with large numbers of internally displaced persons, IDPs, and refugees. International organizations and NGOs are heavily involved in providing food, shelter, medical assistance, and security to vulnerable populations in the region. Demographics. Diffa is home to a mix of ethnic groups, including Kanuri, Fulani, and Hausa communities. These groups share cultural ties with populations in northeastern Nigeria, which has historically facilitated cross-border trade. The region has a predominantly Muslim population, and the culture reflects this religious heritage. Challenges. Security. The ongoing threat from Boko Haram continues to destabilize the region, making it difficult to rebuild infrastructure and restore normal life. Climate change. Recurrent droughts and the shrinking of Lake Chad have exacerbated food insecurity and water scarcity. Development. Economic development is hampered by poor infrastructure, insecurity, and the remote location of the region. Despite its challenges, Diffa remains an important region in Niger due to its strategic location and potential economic resources, but it continues to rely heavily on humanitarian assistance and security interventions to ensure stability and development.
Certainly. Here's more in-depth information about the Diffa region. Historical background. Diffa's history is closely linked to the broader Lake Chad Basin and the historical Kanem-Bornu Empire, which controlled parts of present-day Niger, Chad, Nigeria, and Cameroon. The Kanuri people, one of the dominant ethnic groups in Diffa, were once part of this empire, known for its trans-Saharan trade routes, particularly for salt, gold, and slaves. As colonial borders were drawn during the French colonial era in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Diffa became part of French-occupied Niger, leading to the establishment of modern-day boundaries that often split ethnic and cultural groups across nations. Lake Chad and environmental issues. Lake Chad, located to the east of Diffa, has historically been a crucial water source and hub for agriculture, fishing, and livestock farming. Over the last several decades, however, the lake has dramatically shrunk due to a combination of climate change, overuse, and desertification. The shrinking of Lake Chad has had severe repercussions for the Diffa region, impacting livelihoods and contributing to food insecurity. The loss of the lake has also disrupted traditional lifestyles, such as fishing, and has led to increased competition for remaining resources like water and arable land, often exacerbating local conflicts. Boko Haram insurgency. The presence of the Boko Haram insurgency, which began in Nigeria but spilled over into neighboring countries like Niger, has had a devastating impact on Diffa. Since 2015, Boko Haram has carried out attacks in the region, targeting both civilians and security forces. Key impacts include mass displacement. thousands of people have fled their homes due to Boko Haram attacks, either moving to safer areas within Diffa or seeking refuge in neighboring regions or countries. Humanitarian crisis. Diffa is hosting a large number of refugees from Nigeria, particularly from Borno State, where Boko Haram is most active. In addition, there are significant numbers of internally displaced persons, IDPs, from within Niger. The influx of displaced people has strained local resources and put additional pressure on already limited food, water, and healthcare services. Security responses. The Nigerian government, with support from international partners and regional coalitions, such as the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, which includes Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger, has launched military operations to counter Boko Haram. However, these efforts have not fully restored peace to the region. Economic impact of insecurity. The ongoing conflict has deeply disrupted economic activities in Diffa. Agriculture. Farmers have been forced to abandon their lands due to the threat of violence, reducing agricultural output in a region already affected by poor soil and drought. This has led to heightened food insecurity. Trade. Diffa was once a critical node for cross-border trade between Niger and Nigeria, especially in goods like peppers, livestock, and fish from Lake Chad. However, Boko Haram's attacks have disrupted trade routes, and the border between Nigeria and Niger has at times been closed for security reasons. Livelihoods. Many people in Diffa rely on traditional farming and livestock herding. Due to Boko Haram's disruption of rural areas and the impact of drought, pastoralist communities have faced difficulty in maintaining their herds. Development challenges. 1. Infrastructure. Diffa is one of the least developed regions of Niger. The road networks, access to electricity, schools, and healthcare facilities are minimal, making it hard for the local population to access basic services. The remoteness of Diffa has historically led to its marginalization in national development projects. 2. Education. The conflict has led to the closure of many schools, while the lack of infrastructure makes it difficult to deliver education in safe conditions. This has created a gap in education for the region's children, many of whom are also recruited or forced into work to support their families. 3. Health. Health services are severely under-resourced. There is a lack of medical staff and facilities, and the influx of refugees and IDPs has further burdened the health system. Diseases such as cholera and malnutrition are common due to poor water and sanitation conditions. 4. Humanitarian aid. Humanitarian organizations, including the United Nations, the Red Cross, and various non-governmental organizations, NGOs, have been active in Diffa, providing food aid, healthcare, water, and shelter to the displaced populations. The humanitarian response has faced challenges, including funding shortfalls and difficulties accessing remote or insecure areas. Cultural and social aspects. Despite its challenges, Diffa is culturally rich, with a mix of Kanuri, Tubu, Fulani, and Hausa populations, each contributing to the social fabric of the region. The cultural practices of these groups often revolve around livestock herding, fishing, and farming, and they maintain traditional forms of governance and social organization. Cross-border ethnic ties between Diffa and Nigeria also influence trade and social relations. Future prospects. Security stabilization. A return to stability is critical for rebuilding Diffa. Continued military efforts against Boko Haram, coupled with peace-building initiatives, are essential for the region's future. Economic recovery. Potential oil exploration in the region offers a possible future source of revenue. However, this will require significant investments in infrastructure and security. Additionally, efforts to rehabilitate the agricultural sector and restore the Lake Chad ecosystem could help revitalize local economies. Humanitarian needs. The humanitarian situation in Diffa requires sustained attention. International aid agencies have stressed the importance of long-term solutions, such as development projects aimed at improving livelihoods and infrastructure, in addition to emergency relief. Diffa, while one of the most vulnerable regions in Niger, holds promise with its resilient communities, strategic location, and potential resources. However, achieving stability and prosperity will require addressing the multiple challenges it faces, including insecurity, environmental degradation, and underdevelopment.